Hey, I'm Victoria Jane and I'm right now in the GigPig HQ. This is from the studio and I'm sat with Tasha, an amazing artist, person and creative. How are you feeling being here?
I'm excited. I love it. It's really nice in here as well.
Oh, yeah, it's like cosy, comfy. You're looking all glowing.
Thank you.
So talk to us and tell everyone a little bit about you as an artist and how you discovered music.
I feel like I've always had music around me, like my mum and my granddad. They're probably the two biggest influences I've got, aside from other artists in the industry. Yeah. I'm 18 and I've studied music for 2 years. I did a diploma at BIM. Just finished there in June, so now the main goal is to carry on writing, recording, being in the studio, being on stage and just taking those first steps into the industry.
How was it pursuing the music route through education? Like, did it change your view of music at all? Because a lot of people say that they'll pick music as an option or go and study music and then it changes their view, like they get a bit tainted.
For me, it was a mixture of both. I feel like every opportunity that I've had to source myself, which is very common in the industry. But every opportunity I have had, I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't know it was possible. Right. There's so many different careers in music or pathways I could have gone down that going to a music college and studying that for education, it opened my eyes in that way. So that was good. I feel like in terms of me personally as an artist, it also helped develop my style because I had my influences, but I didn't know how that could turn into something else and I could develop like kind of my own genre or my own pathway like as a subdivision. So it definitely helped for that as well.
So you just touched on some of your influences. What are some of your influences and what are and how has BIM changed your influences?
I mean, when I was at BIM, I stumbled upon being in an indie band for like 6 months, which is crazy. So I got a few of my influences through BIM, through that. But in general, like I'm very into my soul, my R&B, my 90s stuff. That's the best for me.
That's what makes you
that's what makes me me. So like people like Mahalia now, SZA now, and people like Lauryn Hill back then, Aaliyah back then, all of them, Destiny's Child, TLC, all of that.
And what do you want people to get when they listen to your music that you make and put out?
I want them to feel what I'm feeling or feel something in their own way and be able to relate that to one of my songs, as well as just enjoying it. Like sometimes it doesn't need to be connected in a deep way. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the music. And I enjoy what I'm making, so if other people could enjoy that as well, then that's a win for me.
So talk me through like your songwriting process and how you go to make a record. Have you not released anything yet?
I've not released anything yet, no. I'm working on quite a few things at the moment, which is exciting. My writing process is so scrambled. I'm not one of those who can sit down and pick a topic and write about it. I feel like I'm a big feeler, so it could be the craziest thing. It could be something that's genuine and upset me, or I've seen someone walking by themselves in the street and I go home and I write something like that.
No, I get that.
My brain just goes from one thing to another, and I'm very good at picking up on things like that. And I'm very much creative at the night time as well. Like my mum hates me for it, but I'm always writing at night, making music at night. So sat by myself in a dark room.
Interesting. And have you like worked with many artists or got the opportunity to collab with many musicians through being at BIM, for example?
Yeah, 100%. And people that aren't necessarily big on my genre as a whole either. So it's been good to expand my knowledge and work in different ways for that. I've worked with a few people down in London as well, and Birmingham as well. People, a bit more established people that are also just at the same levels as me, and that's where some of my best stuff has come from as well. So I'm very big on collaborating.
And you've also done like quite a few gigs as well. What are some of like your favourite gigs? What have been some of your favourite gigs
that I've done? So I've done a few things. I've done like the Bread Shed, Brick House. They're all in Manchester, and my biggest gig that I did was Yes's Basement. Did that as well. That was lovely in there. That was really nice.
Yeah,
I did that. That was my first time with a full band as well.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's the gig that really sticks out for me.
Wow. Fun. And what's like one thing that you found in music to be quite challenging?
Music can I can struggle for motivation for music sometimes because I feel like that's quite a normal thing that not many people speak about either, because you see these people that are being successful and it seems on social media especially that it's a 24/7 thing and they're constantly doing something and they're constantly working towards something, and I sometimes find myself comparing myself to that, and it's just not possible. Nobody is doing music 24/7. There's a lot of off days, and I feel like it's on those off days where I'm finding out new just life things that I can then incorporate into music, and when I am feeling a bit more motivated, I can turn whatever I've learned on those off days into a song, into a project, into a new way of thinking about things that can then better my creative output.
That makes sense, to be fair. I wanted to ask you, who are some of the artists that you really want to work with? Like, setting a goal for yourself, like, I'd love to work with this person.
I would love to work with Leon Thomas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you
to work with Leon Thomas, 100%. But that's like a crazy goal for now.
No, I think that's achievable. Yeah, that's more than achievable.
Hopefully, I'd love it to be. And then I'd love to work with Humble the Great. I'd love to work with Amy Blue. I'd love to work with Mahalia. Yeah. I'd love to work with so many people. Yeah. I'd love to work with Pip Millett as well.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's an achievable thing as well. I think as much as you think like, oh, you just said like, oh, it's just, you know, far away thing. But I think it's part of believing yourself to think that easily can happen. I always ask everyone this, especially because you've done quite a few gigs. What is one thing that you couldn't live without being on your rider at a gig?
Oh, do you know what? Fruit.
Fruit.
Anything cold. I cannot be warm. I get all hot and flustered, and then I'm just in a bad mood, and everyone feels the wrath of it.
Okay. What's your favourite?
What's my favourite fruit?
Yeah.
Grapes.
Grapes?
100% grapes. Give me a bowl of grapes and I'm happy.
Green or red grapes?
Absolutely red. All day
really?
long. Absolutely red all day long.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
I'm
that.
like a connoisseur of grapes.
So to finish off, obviously, what's coming up for you? You've got new music coming? Debut single?
Debut single and a few more songs as well that I'm working on at the moment. I've really used this year, especially with me finishing college, to hone down on all of that so that 2024 could be really exciting.
Oh, that's so exciting. Anything else you want to leave with the audience?
Just if you're a musician, just keep being a musician. Just go through the motions, feel your off days, feel your creative days as well, and don't give up.
I love that so much. No, don't give up. Thanks so much, Tasha, for joining us. And make sure to check out Tasha's live session.